Scanners 2: The New Order is a 1991 sci-fi horror film from director Christian Duguay. The movie opens with some shots of the city and a guy who's hungry like the wolf. Drac is running from the cops and sneaks into a bar. There's a lot of kids in this bar, almost like it's really an arcade. He sees a kid playing a game and is immediately hooked. Whoa, is that blast processing? Radical! Drac's face watching this kid reminds me of this. When not auditioning for Korn, Drac likes to play a nice game of Operation Wolf. Video games and movies. They go through all the trouble to get an actual game, but then the Foley can't be bothered to get the right sounds. What generic audio bank did they pull this one from? He starts to really get in the game and uses his mind to control it. Now he's playing with power? This guy has a hairstyle that could only be described as frohawk. A security guard distracts him, and he launches him across the room. Well, that's what you get for messing up his high score attempt. He then loses his shit and starts to make the whole arcade go nuts. I think he just unleashed the Bishop of Battle. Over in Film Noir Police Station, Police Commander Forrester gets a call about Drac. He heads a group that tries to contain and control scanners. Scanners are people who have powers that include, but are not limited to, mind control. After a few frowny faces, he calls the lab. Aw man, always when I'm doing science. Drac moved to an abandoned warehouse where he's building up an army of girlfriends. Aw, look what you made me do! Could you not do that? We only rented these mannequins. Oh, that's coming out of your pay. The police are outside planning to stop him. They bring in their own scanners to knock him out with tranquilizers. What's going on here? Over in the Morse Neurological Research Institute. Okay, zoom in on this wicked advanced piece of technology. Hey, viewers under the age of 20. This is what's known as a pager or a beeper. They were very popular for about 5 minutes in 1991. Dr. Morse heads to the secret sub-base to see the new scanner.
My name is Dr. Morse. My specialty
is a combination of long and short signals called code. Drac tries to kill Morse, so they inject him with a drug called F2 that neutralizes his abilities. Forster's mad because the drug is highly addictive and has turned the previous bunch of scanners into junkies. Man, this really makes me want to dust off my psycher and play some Hell on Earth. Oh, that's the stuff. Lousy dopers doing drugs and then laying around all day watching cartoons. 15 minutes into the film, and we finally meet our hero, Ted Handsome. Okay, really, this is David Kellum. Spoiler, he's a scanner and doesn't know it. He's late for his first day at veterinary school. Get out of my way, I'm missing the Muppet operation. He's in for the operation, and then he's out. Maybe a vet isn't the right career path. One of his classmates goes to talk to him, and oh my god, look at how cute this puppy is! He unknowingly uses his scanner powers to heal the puppy's encephalitis.
Well, I'll be your friend, David. Alice. Leonardo, like the...
Ninja Turtle?
Leonardo, like the artist.
Oh, yeah. David doesn't really know anyone in town, so Alice offers to show him around. David wants to go home, but Alice jokes that pathology on a Friday night is pathetic.
Pathology. That's pathetic.
Alice comes on strong and gets him to ditch his studies to go out to dinner. This relationship is moving quickly. They stop at the outdoor Japanese restaurant diner that has live new wave music that you can only hear if you rent headphones. Oh, that old place. David tunes into the music and it's not good.
The final countdown. The final countdown.
He runs away and explains to Alice how he gets these awful migraines. Forrester sends Judge Doom up to interrogate a corrupt lawyer. They read his mind to get into his safe, then force his security guard to shoot him. The guard then goes outside and the cops shoot him. Forrester goes on the news to say he's got a task force that's been pretty much executing corrupt individuals.
If we are going to save the society, we're going to have to cure crime.
And you can take that to the bank. Oh man, I am the coolest looking cop in town. Forrester tells Morse they need to find a scanner that isn't addicted to F2. David goes to see Alice and he smuggled out the puppy. I swear, if anything happens to that puppy, I'll go John Wick on this movie. They go to a local store to get some groceries, and shit, is it purge night? They try to take Alice hostage, so David knocks one of them across the store, and... oh, YouTube's new restrictions. He knocks the other guy over, and... look at how juicy this watermelon is! Forrester sees the footage and starts to track him down. Alice has a concussion, so he takes her to the hospital. She saw what he did, so he tries to explain his powers to her. He goes back to his dorm and Forrester's waiting for him. He brings him to the Morse Institute for study. His PSI is off the charts, of course. He tells David they want to help him control his powers, so they introduce him to Drac. Hey look, they let Drac wash his hair. Maybe letting Drac help out wasn't the best idea. David and Drac then have a staring contest. Forrester takes him to a milk factory and tells him to walk around and be creepy to everyone. He discovers the manager's been poisoning milk, so he throws him down a flight of stairs. He goes to see Alice in the hospital, then tries to tickle her lady parts with his mind. A nurse tries to be a Budinsky, so he sends her away and has some sweet, sweet hospital sex. Forrester sends Drac to the police chief's home to get him to do his R. Bud Dwyer impression. They really went at it, didn't they? Forrester takes David to a city hall meeting to force the mayor to make him the new police chief. Drac tells David not to trust Forrester. You could have told me that yesterday! David goes and scans Forrester to see all the evil he's done. They try to stop him, but he escapes. He tells Alice he's going home so they won't hurt her. Galson and Drac go to see Alice to find out where David went. David visits his parents and finds out that he's really adopted. They tell him his parents were the scanners from the first movie. David then goes outside to take a nap so his adopted parents can get ambushed. The mother tries to call the police. 911. Oh, damn rotary phones. Oh man, that's brutal.
Hey, what the hell's going on there?
David hears the shots, but by the time he returns, they're gone. His father's still alive, so he rushes him to the hospital. He tells him he has a sister he never knew about.
An older sister. Her name is...
Oh, please don't say Alice.
Julie.
Oh, thank God. This could have been weird. David heads out to find his sister. He meets his sister Julie, who's also a scanner. She tells him her husband was a scanner. Geez, how many scanners are there? She says her husband joined Forrester's group and disappeared.
And they gave him a new drug.
F2.
F1.
What about F5? What would that be like?
The finger of God.
Forrester announces his plans to run for mayor. David goes back to rescue Alice. First he stops to see the mayor and explain Forrester's plan. She doesn't believe him, so he uses his abilities to convince her. The mayor calls internal affairs, but that was a mistake. He escapes on foot and makes a police car flip on this conveniently placed pile of debris. Julie shows up to rescue David from Gelson. Alice is trapped in her apartment with a police guard. Hey, I'd love some soup and nah! David and Julie take control of Gelson and watch him go into the secret lab.
Hey, Lieutenant, something the matter?
It's okay, I've just gone blind. Seriously, no one notices this? Julie sees her husband's one of the junkies. They then force Morse on a bunch of syringes. Oh, why did I store them needles side up? Drac shows up and kills Gelson. They power slide through the scanner security guard and then use their powers to turn the other guards against themselves. They get into the building, but Julie gets hit with a tranquilizer. David then makes the guard do some sick ballet moves. David finds Walter and goes head-to-head with Drac. Instead of blowing him up, they drain his life Shang Tsung style. Alice went to the news and brought them to Forrester's. David then forces him to admit all the things he did. He tries to kill him, so David scans him until he looks like a human potato. Julie's reunited with Walter. Then David and Alice stand in the snow and enjoy some sexy sax music. Scanners 2: The New Order was filmed over 2 months in Montreal, Quebec, Canada for about $5 million. The original Scanners is a David Cronenberg sci-fi horror classic. It spawned 2 sequels, a spin-off series, and the Sci-Fi Channel's been trying for years to make a TV series out of it. They currently have one listed for 2017, but that's changed numerous times before. Scanners 2: The New Order and Scanners 3: The Takeover were shot almost back-to-back by director Christian Duguay. Both went direct-to-video and were very popular in late-night cable TV. Duguay would eventually go on to direct the fun but flawed sci-fi film, Screamers. The movie was produced by Pierre, who produced the original, as well as some other Cronenberg films. Rumor was that during the production of Scanners, he acquired the rights to make sequels, either with or without Cronenberg at the helm. David even directed the spin-off Scanner Cop. Scanners 2 is but one in a long line of loose sequels based on a popular film from years before. Most of them went direct-to-video, and in some cases had little to do with the original besides the name. Scanners 2: The New Order is a decent follow-up, but comes nowhere close to matching the quality of the original. That's fine, though. They made a campy, entertaining sequel that obviously did well enough to warrant 3 more. They expanded on the Scanner's abilities, which was nice, so it wasn't just an endless series of exploding heads. David Hewlett made for a likable hero. I'm surprised they didn't bring him back for the 3rd. I'm even more surprised they didn't figure out some way to resurrect Drac and make him the big bad of the franchise. All in all, Scanners 2 did follow the playbook of how to make a good but safe sequel. They introduced some new characters, but still had ties to the original. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go play some Psyops. This should have had a sequel.
What are you gonna call him? Fred?
Trooper. Because you made it. Survived.